Hey y'all, okay, so I've never done a video like this, so please bear with me on this. But today I'm going to be talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her basically name dropping me, and I'm going to be reacting to not only where she said my name, but also the bullying video that she put up. There's a couple sections I want to talk about here, and I am going to be watching other creators' videos. I'm not going to be using her content that she posted on YouTube, but there is a way, which I'll leave down below in the description, of how you can watch this video without giving her a view over on YT. But I do encourage you guys to check out all the awesome creators that I take down below, because that's who I will be watching from today. I want to preface this by saying that I really truly do believe that the reason that these 4 people were named in her video is because she knows who our sources are. She knows who we're talking to, and she knows that what we're saying is truth, and in all reality, she is not happy about that. So that's my opinion on it. I may be wrong, but hey, to each their own, right? Here is the first one where she is calling out the creator. So let's take a look.
Ask yourself, and I'm talking to you, Nina. I'm talking to you, Morbid. I'm talking to Ashtootrippy. I'm talking to Conspiracy. I'm talking to every single creator that has ever made gypsy content. Ask yourselves, do you really believe the stuff that y'all put out? Is it worth the temporary monetary gain that y'all get?
So she is sitting here telling us to ask ourselves if putting out the content that we do is worth the temporary monetary gain. First of all, I want to preface this by saying I am not only solely a quote-unquote gypsy creator, as she has put it. Us content creators, of course, we do talk about gypsy content, but her saying gypsy content, it just doesn't sit well with me. Anyways, I want to preface this by saying I do not only post gypsy content. Yes, there are long-standing things like now, because I have a video going completely viral. You guys can go check it out. But I do not post gypsy content solely. Okay, let me put that out there, because she did name Sir Morbid. I'm not too sure about Nina because I don't follow her, but I know Sir Morbid has made a pretty much career about just talking about gypsy. They don't talk about anything else. They sit on panels every other night for hours on end, talking and bullying and just being really nasty, not only towards gypsy, but gypsy creators and anti-gypsy creators. So very fun fact for y'all. She called me out in that video, and I fully believe that all 4 people she called out, she knows that they know, and there's a reason why she called them out. Now, there's so many other creators in this space that she could have called out. She didn't call out Fancy, who, if you guys don't know who Fancy is, Fancy Masali is basically the woman that she allowed to have some of her medical records in order to create a documentary. And when Fancy started asking questions that were weird, when she uncovered things, Gypsy decided that she wasn't going to work with her and decided to sue her. And that could be why. A lot of people also were like, well, why didn't she name like people like Becca Scoops and things like that? Well, the main reason is because these people aren't talking to the people that us 4 are. And it's very evident that she is well aware of that, okay? This one I'm gonna watch next. It's a little bit of a longer version of where she states our names, and I wanna get into a little bit of what she says before she says creators' names as well. So let's get into it.
Is the things that we put out on social media worth the monetary, the temporary monetary gain that we get? Because if I look at the last year and a half that I have been free, the amount of rumors about me, Ken, my pregnancy, my life have been insane. Like, some of these conspiracy theories and rumors are insane. Like, I don't understand it, how anyone is able to think this up in their head, put it online. And the sad thing is we live in a society, especially with Gen Z, that they will see a video and take it as fact, when it is complete slander, lies, and manipulation. There are still people out there that think that I was faking my pregnancy, that, oh, my daughter is a doll. Like, come on now. Come on now. So, ask yourself.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there because this is like before she mentions names. She talks about a lot of things, and I, for one, have always said, let's leave the nonsense at the door and just talk about the things that are important. I can admit myself that I have talked about things that are very unimportant, like her clothing. I've never talked about her looks, but I have talked about her clothing before. And I can admit that, yes, there's been times where I have fallen down that in talking about her clothing, but I will never stoop to the level of talking about her looks, because that's just not who I am. That's not the type of person I am, and that's not what kind of content I create. I just don't do that. I know her friend Bree and all her little minions that have their knitting circles do that, but I do not. Now, she and I can attest to that. I think that the people that are sitting here saying her baby's fake, her pregnancy was fake, she has this grand scheme plan that she had with Lifetime. I just don't think it's logical, and that's why I don't speak on certain things, and that's why certain things I feel do need to be spoke on, because they are patterns of things she has done in her past that led to her crime, and stuff like the salon-centric debacle. That kind of stuff needs to be said, because there was very clearly a sign on the door. But since she Googled that she could only buy Redken products at certain places, she knew she needed to be in this place. And she completely disregarded everything in order to do that. And that's a pattern that has been shown not for her, even before she committed her crime. So it's very telling, and I think people need to put those puzzle pieces together, because if anybody here loves true crime as much as me, you guys know that patterns are everything when it comes to a crime. I'm gonna be 100% transparent with y'all. Ever since Gypsy called me out in her video, I have gotten so many people that have come to my page and been like, yep, you gotta follow just because she said your name. So I think her calling out certain creators really did backfire on her at the end of the day, because I had already had a video going viral about what I thought about her changing her hair color in their relationship, and all my opinions before I heard about what exactly was going on. And that video has gone completely viral. It has 1.1 million views, and people are just really pressed about a lot of the situations, but there's a lot of people that get why I'm talking about it, and that's the biggest thing for me. And that's what keeps me going at the end of the day, is people telling me that I am explaining it perfectly, or people telling me to continue doing it. And believe it or not, I've built a really awesome community over on TikTok, and not just because of Gypsy. I talk about numerous other things. I talk about true crime, conspiracy theories, and gossip. Gypsy, it's literally all three, because she is a true crime case. There's so many conspiracy theories out there about her, but some are real. and she loves to be the primary subject of gossip. So, of course, I talk about her. Now, I did post a video about her name dropping backfiring, and I kind of want to pull up some of my comments so y'all can really see. This video has 46,000 views, and I want you guys to like really see like the people that are in the comments that came from Gypsy. And I want to show you guys what her name dropping really did for the content creators that are out here spreading truth. See what Gypsy really did with her name dropping and the content creators that are out here actually speaking truths about this, okay? And what people see, the majority of people. Because yes, there are times I get in my comments people that are defending her or wanting me to stop bullying her and see it in a different way, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. You could have your own opinions. That's the difference here. You could have your opinions, but the minute it starts getting aggressive and rude is the minute I block you. So I don't block people because they have a different opinion as me. I block people because they're straight on rude. Okay? So get that right. So I'm gonna go through some of the comments here and show you guys what exactly has been happening with people coming over from Gypsy Rose's video. So again, this video has 26,000 views, 3,300 likes, and almost 400 comments. So here's a little bit about it. So you will follow me back. I love your content. I followed that person back. Here's one of my really good friends, Vicky, that has been in my community for a long time. I've never seen you bully her. Tell the truth on her, yes, but never bullying her. And I don't. Again, some of her choices in her outfits or her wigs or whatever she wears, yes, I will, because I'm that honest type person to be like, hello. We have Amber J's in there. You're not bullying, you post facts. Facts. I had allergies this morning, so sorry if I sound really stuffed up. Let's see what else. First rule of calling people out, don't name drop them unless you're okay with it gaining them followers. So true. Gained a new follower. Well, that was nice of her to help the four of you make your platform bigger. What a wonderful gift, LOL. That's Diana. Shout out to Diana. She's a subscriber. Here from the name drop. So you guys can see all these comments that are basically, you know, I followed you from her shouting you out. I'll support you because I haven't seen you lie yet. I don't lie, just FYI. I went and followed those other creators when the name dropped them. See, all these creators are just getting clout off her video. I just happen to be TikTok friends with all of them. Cancel Jip Jip. Freaking awesome. I ended up following you. That's how I ended up following you. See? Good, more people will hear and see the truth. That is always the goal here, honestly. I love your videos. And I hope you guys see with this that I do this because I get the people that are following me and I get what they're telling me. I don't just sit here and gain followers and want the monetary gain like she's trying to say in her video. I literally, these people in my comments are people that I built a community with and people that will follow me and continue building my community. You gained a new follower here. New follower. So that kind of puts it in a perspective for you guys. I have over 400 comments on this video. A lot of them are literally just being like, I followed, immediate follow. So I'm telling you, her video literally backfired. Now I want to touch on that video a little bit more. She also talks about being called a murderer. And she says, why don't people think of something more original? Like, you know, they call me a murderer. Like, okay, I've heard it before. But the point of the matter is that she is not fully grasping and understanding is that she disconnected herself with being a murderer a long time ago. So she does not connect herself with that anymore. So she thinks that people should just get over it because technically she has gotten over it. But the fact of the matter is that when you slander a person's name that not only you took out of this world, but slander a person's name with complete and absolute utter lies and expect people to respect you, follow you, and just be the celebrity that you think you are is outrageous, because nobody's going to do that to a known murderer. Now, let me put this, and I say this in a lot of my videos about Gypsy. Gypsy is a manipulating murderer that conned an autistic man to do her bidding over a 2-year period, with not only making instructional videos, but also manipulating him to a point where she created characters for not only herself, but for him as well. And before you guys come in my comments saying, oh, she didn't do that, there is a FOIA request of every single video that her and Nick corresponded between that 2-year period. And she is very clearly creating the fantasies and the characters that were created over that 2-year period. Nick never had any issues with creating other personalities or doing any of that, other than him creating fictionalized stories like most people enjoy doing. So I want you to remember that that's who this person is. Not only has she done that, but in order to get off of the same sentence as our co-defendant, Nicholas Godejohn, she allowed her lawyer to create a fictionalized story about her mom having Munchausen syndrome by proxy. And by the way, Munchausen syndrome by proxy is a mental disorder. Her mom was never diagnosed with this. Her mom was never diagnosed with any kind of mental disorder. And a lot of people can argue and say maybe she wasn't diagnosed because she wasn't seeking the help that she needed. Fair. Honestly, fair. But when you look at it in a bigger picture with all the puzzle pieces like the interrogation or even the first jailhouse phone calls that have recently come out, why did Gypsy never say, my mom was abusing me, Nick helped me kill her so I can get away from her because she was abusing me? Now, I know her lawyer, Mike Stanfield, was only a public defender at the time, but I would think as a lawyer that that defense would be just as good as creating a fictionalized disease that was never diagnosed to the deceased. I don't know, maybe I'm just not a lawyer and I don't think about that. Or Mike Stanfield knew that gonna gain national attention and he wanted it to be interesting, so not only he can gain money, but also Gypsy's family, including Gypsy Blanchard, who set up the deal with HBO, which was her first documentary series that she ended up creating and made a really good chunk of change off of it. So I like to remind people of that. And if you guys look into her case and look into the FOIA documents, look into Fancy Maselli, look into her actual medical records that are available, the autopsy report of Dee Dee, you guys will quickly see that the puzzle pieces they were trying to put together on the stand were simply to get her off of doing life in prison. And they accomplished that. Now, there were other factors that were in play because it was an election year. They did not want a quote-unquote poor little girl to spend the rest of her life in prison. But let's just forget about the poor young man that is that has a verifiable disability, let's just let him go to prison for the rest of his life for this, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they were both in this. And I know a lot of people like to theorize that Gypsy had more in it than we all believe right now. But that's just a theory. It's never really come out, but we can see it. And the stuff that she said in that video about, you know, her being a murderer, yes, she did the time and all of this stuff, you didn't. That's the simple fact, is you have never said, you know, this is what I did and this is why I did it in a truthful manner. You have only said, I did this because she did this to me. An eye for an eye makes the world go blind. And that's why I choose not to focus on the drama, the things that don't matter, and the bullying. Because why would I focus on that when there is so much more to focus on with patterns of behavior that Gypsy has been displaying over the last year that she's already been out of prison. Not to mention, we also have inmates that were in prison with her that state that her behavior was the same as well. And not only that, people don't see the concerning factor of her jail stay, as she was hanging around with pedophiles and communicating with not only men but women as well to fund whatever she needed in jail. And I don't think Ken or Ryan know of a majority of them. Let's also put into play that she did contact me and Conspiracy to dox Ken's ex with photos, full names, and social media accounts, as well as to let us know that they lived together, where they lived, and also to let us know how long they were together, and that she is a blonde chick, even with the pictures she had sent. So that kind of puts it in perspective as well, to know that Ken had no idea that she even did that. And I believe Ken thinks that we made that all up. We just, me and Conspiracy had so much time on our hands from raising children and having a full-time husband and doing content that actually makes us money, to fake Gypsy messaging us. Sure. That makes complete sense, right? No. But Ken basically has alluded to the fact that he didn't know about this and probably doesn't even care about it, honestly. But it should show you the character of the person you're with, especially considering that that person has messaged her ex and let her know that she wants to be with him, even if Aurora was Ken's. So that kind of puts it all in perspective for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, please leave me a comment down below. I am going to be doing more reaction videos, so if you guys like them, let me know so I can continue doing them. They do take a little bit more time, so I would love to know your feedback. And also let me know what you guys think. And if you've seen Gypsy's video, and if you are a new follower from Gypsy, welcome. This is the Trippy Tribe, where we love people that have opinions, but we also work off of respect. You could have your own opinions, and like she said, you can agree to disagree, but remember to stay kind. And we're all adults here, right? And if you're not an adult, you probably shouldn't be here. If you're new here, welcome to the Trippy Tribe, where we are a Trippy Tribe together. We respect your opinions here as long as they are not disrespectful. And this is a place where you can be yourself. You can be snarky, you can be kind, and we're not going to take it personally. Not like some of the other creators that are out there. So I hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful day. Stay positive, stay awesome, and we'll talk about it next time. Bye, guys.